Jeremy, how can you retire early and sustain it? So I've been getting that question a whole lot. And in today's video, I want to answer that question. I really want to answer that question as if you were my friend and I really wanted to help you out here. And so the reality is most people won't actually entertain the idea of early retirement just because it seems impossible, right? And so before I actually share my plan, I want to share with you my current position and my mentality, my mindset around early retirement or retirement in general, just so that we're all on the same page here. So I'm not fully retired or financially independent, meaning I don't have stocks or real estate or other assets that are paying me monthly dividends passively without me not having to work at all. And honestly, quite frankly, I don't have to. I don't have to be fully retired to live the life that I want. And that's really the theme, right, of my past videos. Yes, I am debt-free 100%. I don't own a mortgage on this small A-frame that I'm living in. You see, when you eliminate your debt, especially your mortgage, you don't need to work much to cover your expenses, which means you have more time to do what you want and the work that you love. Even if you don't even have that part figured out, right? You're not sure exactly what you want to do. You have the ability now to define the type of work that you want or the type of work that you might like and experiment. Most people will work their entire lives to finally retire from a job they tolerated or disliked, or wait until they have $1 million or a specific number in mind to finally live the life that they want, cease all work in hopes of finding some sort of fulfillment. That's the traditional path. But I'm like, why not retire early and buy a small home in cash that you can afford and start waking up to doing the work that you love every day? Or at the very least, work less so you have time to do what you want to do. Now, you may think that idea sounds crazy, and you wouldn't be the only one. But think about it this way. Have you ever, been with someone that was about to pass away or that was on their deathbed, and have you ever asked them what their biggest regrets were? You see, there's this book that was written by a nurse, an Australian nurse, and she worked at a hospice, right? So she spent a lot of her time with people that were about to pass away, and she would ask them what their biggest regrets were. And so the book that she made was actually called Top 5 Regrets. And the biggest and most common regret that people had, let me just read it for you here. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. You see, if that's how most people feel, don't you think that says something about our culture or society, right? That maybe we should start learning from those that lived before us so that we don't have the same regrets. That's why I'm all about flipping the script, starting with the end in mind and get clear on that life that you actually want to live, and then become intentional about how you use those resources, how you use your time, your talent, and your money to actually make that happen and work on things that give you energy instead of remove it. And I know that's harder said than done sometimes. So if you feel stuck and you need help kind of navigating your thoughts and getting clear on exactly what you want so you can start waking up excited about life, check out my guide, check out the link in the description. So now that you understand my mindset on early retirement or retirement, I really want to share 3 things that I'm going to do to sustain my retirement financially, mentally, and emotionally to make sure my family and I are taken care of, but also that we're actually enjoying the process and enjoying the ride along the way. And this is stuff that you can do as well. So the first thing, I plan to continue to invest into my Roth IRA. And I plan on maxing that out every year. Currently, you can put up to $6,000 a year into it. So I'm gonna put $500 every month automatically, and it's gonna go into a mutual fund called VTSAX. And I really like Roth IRAs because of the flexibility. A Roth IRA, it grows tax-free. So when you turn 59 and a half, when you can take the money out, you won't get taxed on it. And that's why I also really like it. To give you a better idea of what that could look like for you and what that $500 a month could look like, let me break it down for you in this investment calculator here. Let's just assume the age of 29, because that's what I'm at right now. Plan to retire, let's just make it 60. Let's just assume 0, right? Let's assume that you don't have 0, but you're my age and you haven't started. So what you contribute monthly, I said 500 because the max is 6,000 a year. The average return of the past 5 years has been 10%, but let's be a little bit more conservative. Let's do 8%. Let's say it grows 8%. So if you calculate that, if I started today with 0, or if you started today with 0, you could have up to $800,000 or maybe more, right? Because this is kind of like just the bare minimum. Of course, if the world goes bonkers, then your retirement account wouldn't really matter anyway. So that's just something to look at. And look at this too. If you invested only $300 monthly instead of the $500, it's actually almost like half. So you see how powerful it is adding an extra $200 in a month. So you can see the power of investing, right, just automatically into your Roth IRA. And the best resource I have for you on this that I've took a lot from is this book called The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. And he talks about and breaks down the stock market, what it is. I totally recommend you check that out. So the second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make money doing what I love and then use it wisely and invest in more if I want to. So like I said before, people usually retire from something because they're unfulfilled. But what if you could control your time and do what you love? You probably would never retire. Yes, you would slow down, right? But you would never stop. You see, by being debt-free really creates the headspace and the time to create things that you find fulfilling. For me, it's helping businesses get clear on their message, right? And get more clients with paid ads. Also, I kind of like helping people, right? That's why I'm starting this YouTube channel, help people get clear on what they truly want in life so they can live the life that they want. So that's what I'm really passionate about it. And no, that just didn't happen overnight, right? There's a lot of trial and error and a lot of times that I failed doing different things, but they were all milestones in my life and all skills that I've taken and that I'm using currently right now. So don't be discouraged if things takes time, right, to build. The reason I decided to start my own business is so I can have control over who I serve, what I serve, have control of my income and really my time. No, it's not easy, right? But I now have time to work on it and explore other opportunities that I want to. You see, like there's just no, for me at least, there's just no greater feeling than learning a skill and then making a living or providing a service to someone that's actually willing to pay for that. It builds your confidence, your momentum, and you just continue to grow and grow and grow. And so that's something that I'm focusing on. The third thing is invest into the right relationships. You see, as a man of faith, I believe investing into my walk with God, my family, my friends, and my community to sustain my emotional health and just my overall happiness. But you see, I feel like this is the most important category because I can have all the financial wealth in the world, but what is all that without, right, sharing it with somebody, right? I feel like I don't believe money will make you happy. I believe if you use the tool correctly, it can and it will. So I know investing in relationships takes time and effort, but I want to take the time to, read my Bible, do devotion in the morning, or, spend times at breakfast or dinner with my wife and actually be present with her. I want to go golfing with my buddies, even though I suck at golf. You see, because I can always make more money, but I can't get back lost time. Now I know these three things may not have been what you expected, but this is how I'm going to sustain my early retirement. And I'm not saying this is what you have to do, but I do want you to start thinking about retirement differently. And I hope you don't just think about the financial aspect of things, but you also think about the emotional side of things too that bring happiness. So this is how I'm choosing to live my life. How are you going to live yours?